Yo!
Welcome everybody. We're back with the missing link.
What up?
Um, Here we have honor to have someone who I've been, following and watching for, a few years now, since this kind of craziness began. Someone who's, a planetary guardian, someone who is, a beamer of light, and someone who's here to, help Team Humanity. So,
Yes.
how are you doing today, brother Rion?
Oh, bro. Well, I'm excited to be here. I wake up and no, I'm just kidding. I was gonna do a Will Ferrell comment. It wouldn't have been preferable. No, I just the timelines are accelerating, brother. I don't have dreams. I'm literally living 3 or 4 different lives, and I think that's what's happening with a lot of our community is that they're starting to realize that they're actually living in parallel realities. It's not dreaming. And I think that our bodies, with all these new solar flares and things that are slamming into us, our bodies are starting to adapt to the higher frequencies, which is exactly what was, prophesized would happen on this planet. So I think we're falling right in line with that. And I've challenged you to hit me with some hard questions from the, because I always just shred on my channel on Unite the Collective on YouTube, but I miss some of the questions. I'm glad you're here. If people have questions, please ask me. And this is a really cool Q&A that you've set up. And I don't know, ever since I saw you, I looked into your eyes. Here, let me help. Look, I looked into your eyes, Jesse. And I was like, there's a good one. He's here to help humanity. He's a good person. I love him and his wife. They're great people. We're friends on Facebook. Like, if there's something about having the energy of peace and prosperity for all, which I think is that true unifying function of all of us really coming together. It's, yo, bro, I can't wait till we can get together and do some really cool stuff. This like apart stuff that's cute right now. Wait till we have a budget and it's like spiritual HBO. We're building temples and waterfalls and 3D printing things above and below ground. The world deserves better. And I think that's why many star seeds and angelics and all of your audience that's watching me right now from every country on this planet, that's why we really showed up. Many of you are not here for normal 5D ascension. Like, oh my God, it's my first time. What's it going to be like, higher self? That's not why we're here. Listen, I'm old. Okay? I'm a lot older than this is my first ascension. What's it going to be like? That's not what this is. We are old. We probably graduated a long time ago. We are here to help our friends and family. And many of you guys looking at my face right now, I'm speaking to you. So, brother, what do we got for you today? What are we crushing?
Well, we're starting off with you telling us about you, about who you are, what part of the world you grew up in, maybe a little bit about your education background,
Cool.
anything that you want to share with us about you, any missing links about you, which maybe people maybe not know about. So let's, to people maybe hearing you here for the first time, who is Rion?
Okay, so I'm one of the 80s towhead kids, born in the early 80s. White hair, blue eyes. My hair turned brown, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, and my eyes turned to brown. I don't know why. I ask my Palladian that all the time. Like, why couldn't I just kept it green? Why'd you go from blue to brown? Okay, anyways. I got blue rings around my eyeballs. That activated Mount Shasta 2010. Many of you guys can tell, goodness gracious, who you are if there's a biological in front of you who's online or agents that are pretending, right? All you have to do is look at the line around their eye, around their iris. The thicker that line is, the more aware that vessel in that biological is. There's no line. Go ahead and look at all the stars in Hollywood. They have 0 line around their eyes. That is an offline character. That is basically whatever the Matrix wants it to be. So you guys will have fun with that in the mirror after the broadcast. So, goodness gracious, 2:38 p.m. 2009 on my 29th birthday. I woke up. I basically snapped myself out of the Matrix. I taught myself the astral projection technique with the candle. You guys can go to unitethecollective.com. I'm Unite the Collective on YouTube. Go all the way back. It's all documented. And the energy body activation. I basically taught myself how to do this technique where I stared at a candle and then the outer ridges of the candle. I had hyper focus and I started to see where the heat touched the atmosphere. And again, it's in that technique. It's about an hour long to learn how to do it. Anyways, long story short, I went through this wormhole for about 8 months. And what I didn't know then was I was actually taking my chi and burrowing a hole through the front of my, I was literally turning a lens on night after night, taking my chi and drilling a hole right through. Might be a little mark there. You might be able to see. So there was biological changes. Okay, so back to me. I was activated in 2009. Went to Peru, did the bunch of activations there with my squad, a bunch of amazing, beautiful beings known as Team Light.
Ayahuasca?
No, sober. Well, I did try it. Funny enough, at the end of the activation, I did try ayahuasca in Peru, in Cusco. And I actually met the being known as ayahuasca. If you guys have ever done ayahuasca, there's actually it's a medicine, but there actually is a being known as ayahuasca. So I'm sitting there in the top of this hotel room, and we got the stuff. There's like 10 of us, and we rented out the whole top of a hotel. They actually gave it to us. It was my birthday. And yeah, this being showed up. She's 12, 15 feet tall. She's very slender. She's what you would, what if you mixed a plant with an angelic with green skin, and she showed up in our space and looked at all of us, and I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing this clearly for, my third eye came on, but this is like super high HD. And she checked all of our hearts, and anyone who had ego she was going to mess with. So if you guys ever do that plant medicine, you got to be super humble. Another tip for anyone ever doing visual medicine is go up at a 45-degree angle. Don't take mushrooms or shrooms or ayahuasca or peyote and look down. Ever. There's a lot of weird stuff under the ground and under our feet dimensionally, okay? You always want to go up at a 45-degree angle, up. So, look, everyone's learning from my experiences. No, I'm just kidding. So anyways, no, I experienced that. That was cool. But no, most of the stuff I do is dead sober. You can't do the work I do on anything, really. Your body has to be completely balanced, and when you guys start wielding real power, you can't be inebriated. Not only can you not be inebriated, but think about a legal agreement. If you sign a deal for a car and you're hammered, Jesse, you could go to court and say, I was inebriated. This contract is null and void. So you can't have anything, like that in your system. You have to be pure of mind and spirit, and obviously come from your heart. And most of the big beings that I've experienced around the planet, I've been on activations. Goodness gracious. I was gone every 60 days for 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about 7, 8 years. I was gone every 60 days. My heart turned on in 2015. I had a higher version or higher self activate in my suit when my third eye turned on. It was not a 5th dimensional, 6th dimensional, 7th. No, my 8D woke up in my suit. When I got here and I opened my eyes in my backyard, when my aspect actually sat in the suit, he woke up in the suit. It's almost like having a walk-in on steroids, but it's you from a different time and space. And everyone kind of jumped back, and they were like, oh my God, he's here. And it took me a while to be like, what planet am I on? Where am I? Where is this place? Like, I had that sort of a wake up. Like, I was a galactic officer who woke up in the physical on Earth. Everyone has their own deal. And then, I knew I was a year late. So literally he reminded me. He goes, just so you know, you're a year late. Get your shit together. You got work to do. And I was like, I felt like I was in that girl, the girl from Constantine, the movie, when she's in the bathtub. I don't know if you. She's like, I've always known I was late. So I had this, like, my fire was answered with real information. And then my higher self started training me in the backyard. He taught me how to make chi balls. That was in the beginning. I was playing catch with my higher self in the beginning. It was awesome. My third eye was on. I could see him. Everyone else's higher self and all the South Bay would come over and hang out and watch. Wow, this vessel's awake. This is so cool. I was like, the new shiny toy in this carnival ride. So I did that. And then eventually, I got used to the astral attacks. I'm a little different. Most people, when they wake up, they have to realize that the Matrix wants to keep you asleep. So when I woke up in Manhattan Beach, California, I battled, dark angels, jackasses, ETs every single night for, the entire time I lived there, 2009 and 10 until I moved to Sedona. I thought Ascension was fighting. That's how much I was messed with. I got astral attacked every single night. I fought every single night in California. Whatever that was there in that, control area did not want me waking up. So whatever I am or whatever I was, the last thing they wanted was this guy to wake up. I've been told that, like I say in my videos, there's some of us, you should have left us sleeping. I think some of us, Jesse, are out there as safeties for the universe that we only got activated when this thing was going off the rails. They wouldn't have woken us up. That you don't drop an 8D into a 3D popsicle suit unless you need something done. And I did, anyways, fun stuff. It's not all negative. Lots of cool stuff. Look forward to it, ladies and gents. You're going to have a fantastic time. No, listen, knowing who, it's not, listen, I'm like some Star Wars thing. Let it go. I don't care. My thing is this for you guys. Knowing who you are and why you're here is very important. I have a different job. I realized all these activations and going all over the planet. Shit, I've been to Stargate on Maru, Sun Temple in Bosnia, and the pyramid activations, all over Egypt from the north to the south. Goodness gracious. I don't know. Okay, Peru, Bolivia. You guys need to go to Sun Island and spend the night in Bolivia, and that's on Lake Titicaca. That place has very beautiful energy, and it's the only place I've ever found that's more of an energy match to Sedona. There's certain things I'm allowed to do in Sedona and how I'm supposed to carry myself. When they take me out of my kingdom or out of this land known as Sedona, I change in the sense of like I'm dealing with, duality and polarity, and I kind of go into work mode. I don't get to relax. Unfortunately, I haven't been on vacation since I woke up, since 2009. So it's all good. I mean, we're doing this for the collective, but I want you guys, ladies and gents, to know when you actually wake up and do this stuff, it's true what they say, the more power you have, the more responsibilities you have. I used to drive through Los Angeles in 2014, and I used to drive at night at like 3 a.m, and I used to go hunting lower dimensional beings that were feeding off the population. I was like the hunter from Orion. I came here to clean this stuff up. I remember when I was a child and I felt helpless, and especially in Southern California, dude, that's Anunnaki land. If you guys didn't know what that is, in the Masonic Wah land. Here's the deal: there are beings that go and clean this stuff up. It's not a fairy tale. It's not mythological. There are very talented, gifted people on this planet who go and clean this stuff up. I don't think nightmares should ever be allowed on this planet. I don't know why no one's ever conceived of a planet where nightmares cannot exist. I'm a lightmare. Okay? They don't need many lightmares to walk the earth. We're here as a collective to clean this place up and create a better future for our children. I don't like little kids that get messed with in sleep terrors. I don't like kids that get all, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not into it. So I used to do that. There's no pay in this. When you're driving downtown LA looking for dudes in buildings thinking that they have this whole place, on lock. No, you don't. Or in Chicago. No, you don't. There's a lot of places I've been where they send us to go, hey, dude, this place is completely unbalanced. And as we well know, I was doing this stuff before all this stuff came out with, I didn't want to blow, it was on Facebook. Remember all this, the new disclosure that came out, right? With the kids and the tunnels and all that stuff. This is before I knew any of that stuff. Well, now in the mainstream, they're like, hey, there is a lot of weird stuff going on here that we are all unconscious to. We were cleaning this stuff up behind the scenes dimensionally for quite some time. And now, having that come out to the physical and people understanding like, wow, this stuff really is going on. Wow, there are bodies buried outside these Indian schools in Canada. I got guys on my team that gridded, my brothers out there, they gridded all of those places, all those cemeteries. All those schools have been gridded in Canada. These are some of the things we do behind the scenes. So, I say in this life, you have a choice. Become the best being you could possibly be. And in that strength, you ask God, you ask your creator for strength so that you may help others. That is service to others. Asking for success or strength just for yourself, that's service to self. So ladies and gentlemen across this planet, ask our creator, ask your higher selves, ask whatever belief system you have for the strength to support and protect those that aren't as strong or conscious as you. That's a hero. And I want to remind you guys are all heroes out there. Everyone watching my face right now, you're heroes. in your own village, in your own town, in your own community. No one's going to tell you this. That's the thing about this weird place. No one tells you how awesome and special you are. They want to put you down and make you a little matrix, caricature and compare things, So, okay, let's see what this question is. So it was a hijack by dark entities. They used to make people commit. Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff on that bridge is actually on the outside of Sedona. It's not in Sedona. It's actually as you're coming into Sedona. That same bridge situation was the same thing we cleaned up in Louisiana. There is a bridge that goes into Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we had to clean up. There were dark entities that would take over vessels and make them jump off the bridge. All they got to do is glitch you for 30 seconds to a minute. You're in a really bad day. You pull the car over. You don't know what's happening. You jump off. So it's not so much that a lot of these people are consciously want to eject from the game. Let's just call it that, or take their life. But rather something else is behind the wheel driving them to do that. Does that make sense? There's something else. They're unconscious. They don't know what's going on. They're having a really bad day. All of a sudden, they're at the bridge. All of a sudden, they're pulling over. All of a sudden, they're marching and jumping off. It's a very strange thing and phenomena. We cleaned up one of those gates in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. As you're entering into Baton Rouge, that main bridge on the left-hand side, that's where one of the main places where they're sacrificing some weird sort. There's a lot of weird sacrificial juju, voodoo, hoodoo, especially in the South, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think one of my targets is Haiti? I'm tired of this voodoo, hoodoo, schmoodoo, boodoo, believe in the dark when we come from light. This whole thing is a control program to keep the population asleep because the real kings and queens and gods and goddesses are about to wake up. What do you think is going to happen when this solar flash hits us? Some of us are waiting for the day. Some of us have no idea it's even happening, and some of us are completely unconscious about anything going on other than their 9 to 5. What I'm getting to, ladies and gents, is there are big changes happening to the planet. We are simply riding on the surface of a planet. If Gaia wants to shift, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to shift. We're just little ants on the surface. Your own personal opinion about what life or experience or reality is means nothing to a planet evolving. Nothing. This much. Nothing. What does matter is us riding that wave up, taking advantage of it, and helping as many of our friends and family rise. That is what is important. Brother.
So is that like if Gaia wanted to take like a big dump and she would shift? That's kind of kind of analogy to boot us off if we were really, messing things up here?
Why don't you go ask Afghanistan, the 250,000 people that just lost their lives during the floods? That happened, a week ago? There's a river going through the middle of the desert right now. And I think it's Afghanistan, isn't it, Jesse? Did you see the video of the fish in the river? I got to show you this. There is a video coming out of, I think it's Afghanistan. I'm pretty sure. There's a video right now of a river, a stream or like a river going through the desert, and there's like 100,000 fish being rolled with almost zero water through the desert. Happened last week. There are biblical things happening right now. They want us to point our eyes and attention on this thing in Russia, or this thing in the Ukraine, or this thing over here, or these guys over here, or the lab, whatever this is. This is a distraction game. There are huge cosmic forces at play here on Earth that people should be paying attention to because it's going to directly affect every single human being on Earth. That's all. Go ahead.
That's amazing. So Andy Moreno, which is a good friend of mine, he has Tales from the Ship in the 144 Club. Yeah. He says you're invited on his show, so he made a comment. So
I love you guys. Listen, if we were all together, it's a bear hug. I don't know. You guys, this thing about me is my guides are on me like white on rice. I have to be in 100% integrity. Is that the way you'd like to be treated? My words, my vocal, my communication of how I feel and I transmit from my heart directly to you. There's no weird agenda. It's boom, boom. I don't have that pause. I tell people and clients when we do sessions, please, by the power of Grayskull, that's a He-Man quote, by the way, do not ask me something you don't want to know the answer to. Don't be like, did he do it? Did he cheat on me? Did he take my... I'm like, don't ask me, because I had one client do it, and I was like, check the iPad right now. what's the passcode? I'm like, I think it's your birthday. I was like, it was horrible. I'm like, don't do it. It was like a truth. I couldn't stop. I was like, don't ask me. So again, in the future, don't ask me things you don't want to know the answer to, because it's boom. It comes right through me. I don't have a filter of what I should or shouldn't say. The only thing which I don't appreciate, I'm sure you're the same way with this, is on, FluffTube or YouTube and some of these platforms. You saw me come out the gate swinging on Facebook. I thought, they're going to cancel me. That's it. That's a wrap. Because I was like, absolutely not on the jibby jabba and the jabble. I was like, nope. And my whole thing was this, which was, I know it's a touchy subject, right? This is what I'm trying to get to. Dude, we're light workers. We're here to save our brothers and sisters. Get on the right side of the line. Can't be more real with you. We're on a battlefield. You don't know we're in a battle. You're like, what? We're in a battlefield, and this situation of good versus evil, right? They want your soul, kids, ladies and gents. It's not a game. So some of us who have to sit there and guard, sitting there with a sword going, come get it, My thing is that I'm trying to protect as many of my friends and family as possible. I want us in the future together. I want us creating paradise together. I'm fighting on behalf of people who are unconscious to the weirdos that are doing shenanigans towards us. You know what I mean? And just like me and you, brother, we're just trying to call it out. I'm not trying to pick anything other than our hearts. We are one, and I love you. We all are growing consciously at different speeds. I have no judgment over anyone. Do you know how many people I see where I'm like, wow, it's just like that in 2015. Oh, I was more sarcastic than you. I was so cynical when I first woke up, ladies and gents, in 2009. When I first made that first video on YouTube, dude, that was like the first free video of like how to, how to activate your third eye. Everything else was buy my book, buy my CD. It was just like, wah, wah, wah. And I used to make jokes. I was like, this is ridiculous. Teach the people how to do cool stuff. Like, I could teach you guys how to do some really cool stuff. And I don't know if we have time, but I would love to share. I'm working on a school right now, and I'll share the link later when we do another interview. Yeah, I want to teach people how to do supernatural things. I'm so bored with, there's so many cool things the human body can do. And we are designed to be so high-end in general. It's just that we, weren't in Jedi school or a little angelic school since we were 6 years old. We should know how to do all this stuff by the time we're 6 years old. You know what I mean? Brother. What do you got?
What's the glitches in the Matrix? So we see these things. A lot of people are posting them now a lot more on TikTok. All of a sudden, some person just pops up behind a big semi-truck and starts walking. Like, there's a lot of things that aren't supposed to be happening, which are just happening, and they're calling them glitches in the Matrix.
Okay, I'll teach you some cool stuff for everyone on Earth. Everyone in both of our audiences, check it. Okay, so some of the information that came through about a galactic war that was like 12,500 years ago, it came through on Gaia through this one lady. It's called Galactic Messages on Gaia. When I watch all the programming on Gaia and anyone who speaks on this planet, and I watch you, I'm running your entire content through my own chemical computer, and I'm asking my guides, what's up with that? Is that true? Give me visuals. Give me the movie. Who was in charge? What officer? What ship? What time? I start taking your data and I start cross-checking everything. So when I heard this information 12,500 years ago, right, the Galactic Federation was in some sort of a firefight with some reptilian dudes, the Sakaar. They couldn't finish the job. Both of these guys that were coming into our system, the ships were damaged, okay? Crash landed, and instead of finishing the job, and I'm not blaming anybody, this is not my story, but this makes a lot of sense, okay? There were Lyrans, humans, and a bunch of other really cool species living here, 12,500. Atlanteans, there's a lot of things living here. While imagine looking in the sky and here comes a firefight and people crashing into the planet. So what the Fed did, the Federation, the Galactic Fed, supposedly, again, this is from a Tigetan channel, Palladian, was that's where the Van Allen belts came from. They locked them in a lower density and they closed the walls around the center in this planet. They locked the walls down. Now, being on Earth, doesn't it feel like we're in some sort of weird quarantine? Okay, so I was like, wait a minute. And there were cool beings here before these shenanigans showed up. I was like, wait a minute. And I'm not saying there weren't reptilians and things and insectoids already here in the inner Earth. There were. But whatever this weird shenanigans was, that was 12,000 years ago, 12,500 years ago, like right around the same time Atlantis went down in Lemuria, what caused this huge thing to come unraveled? Okay, so this is what I took from it. I was like, okay, so we got a galactic war, crash landing, shenanigans. They locked the whole place, called the Van Allen belts. You can't get out unless you have electromagnetic gravitic propulsion, or you can put a bubble around a ship properly and get through it. Okay, got it. They locked these weirdos in our incarnation wheel that weren't even from here. And these guys have had to live life after life after life inside our incarnation wheel with our souls. That's why we don't get along with these guys. They're not cut from the same cloth. So I was getting to, why would the Guardians allow that? And then I thought to myself, well, given it 12,000 years, because they could have taken that Van Allen belt down. So apparently one of the holograms, they say, is in the moon. Now, again, I'm going to answer you the glitches in the Matrix. Why? The lady said there was 6 to 8 original 8 holographic thrusters that actually project from the moon and actually create this 3D or lower density hologram around this planet, because it's actually a 5th dimensional construct that was dropped into 3D. That's why there's certain places on Earth. Now check this out. So over the major metropolitan cities, out of those 8 original projectors, mind you, there's only like 2 or 3 working right now. I think there's like 4, maybe 3 working right now. So what happens is there's not equal coverage around the whole planet. Okay, so what that means is in big metropolitan cities, you get more hologram, more density. Out in the fields of the Sahara, you know what I mean? Or in the wilds of Africa, they could be in you could be in 5D. You know what I mean? Reality out there. Have you guys ever gone out into the forest in the middle of nowhere? You feel like, this is like fairyland. What is this? Why does this feel so different? You know what I mean? Than downtown Toronto or Calgary. Like, this is, So what I'm trying to say is that different areas on this planet have different coverage. Okay, it's the first thing I like to share. Second thing I like to share. By the way, she did a great job. I just wanted to share that with you because I felt it connected some missing links for me. How's that sound? All right, now. Here's some other cool stuff. So I know for a fact that a higher self is allowed to intervene if there is an unscheduled departure from Earth, like an accident. They're allowed to jump down here and move you. So when you see those beings that come out of nowhere, grab the person and put them on the side of the street, I think that may be one of their higher selves, because I know it's a law that the only time they are allowed, because I've gotten this comment when I get into spiritual combat or some of the training I used to do. I used to jump from cliff to cliff, and they had all these fear tests they made me go through. I remember that my 3D vessel was freaked out, but what happened was as soon as I started to run to launch across this gap, my 6D would jump in the suit and I would launch and make it easy and land. And then he would jump out. And I did this like 10 times, Jesse. I was like, what is going on here? Every single time I'm like, whoo, you can do it. And then like, don't be a weak. Like, I've got my throat chakra turned on 8 months after my eyes turned on. Just so you know, they don't turn on at the same time. I could see in 09, and for the first 8 months, he was like, monkey see, monkey do. They're like, hey, you, dum-dum, come here. I was like, okay, watch me. You watch me. Like, they were showing me how to open and close portals and do all this cool stuff, right? But I couldn't hear anything. Just let you guys know. If some of you guys get your throat chakras on first, your throat, sometimes you guys will get sight. Most people get their hearts on first. Us healers out there, they can feel, right? So just to let you guys know, everyone has a different path that's natural for them, okay? So I did it about 6 to 10 times, and eventually my highest light, my my pops, right? Pops was like, hey, knock it off. I know what you're doing. And I was like, hey, why every time I do this, I can do it? It's like I get this like superhuman thing going on right before and he goes, because the vessel, you're putting the vessel in like life or death situation, dum-dum. I just did it 10 times until it became like fact. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that he'll jump in here if I get myself in a situation? And I'm like, yeah. So don't do that, mind you. I'm telling you, I learned that, right? Up on the mountain, old school Jedi stuff. I'm up on top of Thunder Mountain by myself, doing the yogi, pulling it down. And you get into a different state of consciousness, which is probably more like gamma. You vibrate differently. I remember when I was training about 5 or 6 years ago, we ran down a mountain at full speed. I ran down a mountain at full speed, and something really weird happened. I was running so fast, the ground starts to feel like jello, kind of like it does in 4D. If you've ever been in the fourth dimension and woken up, they kicked me out a couple times. They wake me up because I'll wake up in a dream. In the very beginning, mind you, I would wake up in a dream, and the first thing I would do is test the ground. If I felt jello, I'm like, oh, I'm in 4. Boom! But it was this consciousness in 4D. So I started doing Hulk jumps. So I wake up in the reality, and I start testing the ground. I'm like, is it jello? Is it jello? You know, and what I'm trying to say is that I would be OBE, but it would be this consciousness in my 4th dimensional version or my 5th dimensional version. It wasn't my 5D consciousness. It was this guy in an upper dimension. So you guys will practice with that. But what I'm trying to say is when I was running down this mountain, the ground turned to jello, and it started to warp. And I'm talking about full out, can't stop. It was 100% commitment. Just like you're going off a 40-foot jump, it's like life or death. If you eat it, you're going to break a leg, you're going to break an arm. It was 100% focus, and all of a sudden the ground went to jello, and then my feet felt like they were barely touching. What I'm trying to say is that I have done some of these quote-unquote supernatural things, but I'm telling you, the amount of focus it takes is nuts. It's 100% life or death, and you can do it. If you put all your focus and all your chi into something, yes, you can do it. But again, I would not practice like that. I'm just telling you that's how I learned it. I think it's really important in this community that people teach how they learned it. This wasn't a book I read on Amazon where I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm the channel of the Pleiades in the night. No. This is my experience. This is how I learned it, right? Everyone is different and everyone learns differently. But some of us have different jobs. Some of us are responsible for different things. We all, like I like to say, is that this whole world is an apple pie. Okay? Everyone has their own slice of the apple pie. You have the healers, you have the warriors, you have the gritters, you have the communication experts. Everyone has their own slice of the pie. All you have to do is take the responsibility for that one slice of pie and kick its butt. Kick its booty. That's it. Not everyone's going to be the most amazing healer or the most, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone just finds what their true passion is and focus on that, brother.
Yeah, I can comprehend that 100% commitment. I ended up fighting a bunch of gangsters protecting a girl that they were trying to turn out, and I got stabbed 12 times. And
oh, God.
While I was in the hospital, I was going to be released the next day, and they were going to pull out my chest tube. And I asked a bunch of people how you do that, and I found the cancer ward, and I was out there, smoked a nice joint, and I'm out there, and I ended up pulling out my own chest tube out of my body, and it's about this long, and I pulled about halfway. Yeah. And then I was like, you have to commit. It's that 100% commit. I wanted to do it. I couldn't shove it back in once I got halfway out.
Pull it, yeah.
So I pulled it the rest of the way out. There was a bunch of, I was smoking cigarettes at the time, so there was a bunch of snot, that was attached to the end of it, and I ended up putting it back on me, and I committed. So, when you need
full
to commit,
commitment.
You need to commit, and I committed, and I got that thing out, and the doctor came in the room the next day. They did an x-ray out on the outside of my body. They didn't know, and I went and I suntanned out for a couple hours out on the thing. They're searching the whole hospital. They're searching for me, and they came back. I got my way into the room, and the Chinese doctor comes in, and he looks at me, and how did this happen? I'm like, I don't know. You guys are touching, pushing me, poking me all the time. I go, I don't know. And he's like, if you did this yourself, you're lucky to be alive, he said to me, looking directly in my eye.
Yeah. Well, hey, the truth is that we have the understanding of what we're really doing here. You know what I mean? And I think the hardest part is, I think for a lot of us that have that spiritual nature, sometimes you wake up so much, it's hard to pretend to be here. I've been pretending every single day since 2009. I've been in Groundhog Day. You guys, my third eye came on. I didn't just kind of see. I could see and it changes too. You want to talk about the different types of third eye? Some people might want to know.
Sure.
Okay, check this out. My third eye first came on. I had fourth and fifth dimensional bandwidth. What does that mean? Okay, imagine watching a TV. sitting and watching your TV. I had 2 channels. I could watch mostly 5D, honestly. They woke me up in the nice realm before they showed me the rest of the shenanigans. But you could see a perfect, 1080p to 4K screen. Okay, and it's in a small window. It's like the size of a dime. So in the beginning, I could only see if I turned my head, and I literally had to take my third eye and go line of sight to what I was talking to. I didn't get like peripheral vision. No. It was like, imagine your lens is this big, okay? And sometimes it closes. I can't see. It opens. So it was like a muscle I was learning how to use, right? Then as you get more advanced...
you want to... I'm just putting that up for our other different
It was
platforms.
moving my finger in a perfect circle, the wall within the circle, like Jello. Then it stopped. When it stopped, I have a wave of frustration to punch the wall. Hey, the Jello. It's the Jello. It's, what it is we are warping the hologram around us. That's why it's the Jello. It starts to bend. Our consciousness starts to bend reality around us. Suddenly felt many gigantic. Hey.
We were talking about the glitches, I think, and there was another comment that said that someone diverted a driver out of a truck that was coming straight at them, and all of a sudden something just diverted. So same kind of thing. What we were talking about, that glitch.
Here's another thing too to have reference with. We are in Earth time, so imagine staring at Earth like a petri dish, and there's a bunch of really big guardians working down here. We are not in space time. We are on Earth time. So imagine everything on Earth time is slowed down like 300 miles an hour. So if they see something coming, for us it's very quick. They can see it coming, 5-6 hours. Who knows how far in advance they can see things happening. Oh no, for us our perspective is it happened that fast. So we have a different, humans, and our perception of time is different than a 5th dimensional construct of time, which is everything's happening simultaneously. You know what I mean? Yes, the Dicanian glasses, can someone make those again, please? Yes, I do. Those sunglasses, these are not them. I wish. Those sunglasses allowed you to see which people that are walking around have a soul in their body and which don't. Because you could actually see the light emanating and that soul inside of a body. And then you could see all the weird things but we're bumping into that don't have a soul signature or any energy, a soulless being. And they got rid of those glasses straight away. Can you imagine if we had an army of people with those glasses? Just going, if you don't have a soul in this, you think we have, check this out. Differences. How about if you have a soul, we're on the team soul. If you don't have a soul, we're coming to get you. Every single weirdo, dark cloak, wah-wah, and all these weird little things running around, that would probably be the thing I'd be most scared about, is the entire population getting a pair of sunglasses that actually can see if you have a soul in that suit or not. Because imagine everyone is imagine a bunch of 25-year-olds, skateboarders. We just give all the skateboarders across the whole planet, hey, bro, wear these sunglasses, bro, and tell me where these guys are. It would be like, dun, dun, dun. I don't know. It'd be like, and it's fair game. I don't know. I don't know how we, even in the court system, you can say, if it's a soulless being, is it a human? Do they have any rights? Do they? I don't know. I'm just trying to say there's a lot of deeper things to us having that know-how. Are these beings allowed to be here? Who allowed these beings to be here? Who's controlling that puppet? Who's behind the wheel of that? So I'm getting to, I think there's a lot of controlled puppets and drones and clones walking around amongst us. And I think, wasn't it Dolores Cannon that said that, what is it, like out of all the beings on Earth, it's like only 1/3 of them are like ensouled. The rest are like background characters. You can pull up that article. She said that. Out of all the people on Earth, it's like only like 1/3, maybe half, are actually like us. The rest are like, yeah, you know.
Patricia's asking if they're like aura glasses.
No, they're the ones that, okay, there is, if you pull up that last one before. If you can find it, I'll show you. Okay, check it. I'm not sure if that's the word. There was a blue dye that was invented by this guy. And it was probably around the time of Tesla, maybe right after like 40s, 50s. He was playing around with different types of blue pigments. And I don't want to say too much on this because this is still something that is still top secret. You're not allowed to know where to get this stuff. You can't make this stuff. There was something, you know, that one movie, the 80s movie, where like the guy, you know, who's like Piper, the wrestler.
Roddy Piper.
That movie, if you guys go back to that movie, the sunglasses he put on was based in reality, not with all the weird stuff you see in the billboards, but rather they released, I believe, so many pairs of those glasses when that movie released, and they pulled them all back. I know that Sony came out with a infrared camera that recorded to disc, like an old school one, like an 06. I bought that camera, and it was like 2010. I went back in time and I bought that camera because apparently in the night vision mode, you could see shit, and they pulled it off the market. Yeah, you guys, it's all about bandwidth and frequency. If we knew the frequencies to look at spirit, have you seen those old Tartarian photos on Facebook and some of those groups where they have those spiritual machines and like you're seeing a ghost in the image? I think we really had that stuff. I think for sure that we remembered how to use crystals, frequency, because everything's frequency and vibration, and to actually thin the veil wall. All you're doing is thinning the veil. You're thinning the veil to like tissue paper in this one little space, okay? And you can see through. I know in Atlantis we had the, they call them the view. It's not like in the SSP where they have the viewing glass, the viewing. It's like an iPad made out of glass, and you can like check in all the cool stuff and research.
Are you talking about the Operation Looking Glass?
Yeah, no, not Operation Look. It's like, so the SSP and the Secret Space Program, they have this like really thin thing that rolls out, and it's like glass, but it's like a see-through iPad, and you can like look up all kinds of cool stuff. Corey Good talked about it, and some other SSP insiders talked about it. No, what we had in Atlantis, it was like a dark mirror. It was like made out of like, it almost looked like black onyx, and you could actually see right into the fourth dimension.
Wow.
Right, you could see, so you could have these like mirror on the wall thing. You could walk up and go, yo, 4D, what's up? And your 4D's like, hey, what's up? How can I help you? Hey, what do I do about this? Unfortunately, it was 4D, your closest night side on your right. And for everyone who doesn't know this, let me help. Your heart is on the left side of your body. If you split me in half, right? My heart's on my left, right? And I say my heart's on my left, right? My light is on my left. My night is on my right. Okay, I keep it really simple. So there's a V coming down. The bottom of that V touches where your sternum is, right where that your golden cable or your silver cord comes out. But remember, everything on the left side is my homies, right? And I'm friends with both sides, mind you. That's what I say. On my right side is my night side. I don't say good or bad. I say light and night. Okay, so the fourth dimension, why it's so close to us, we can show the dimensional template later, but I'll kind of show you real quick what I mean. If we're in 3D, if you go up one step on the right side, this would be 4D. Now listen. Now, here's 4D. 5D is on the left side, but it's higher in frequency than the fifth dimension. Got it? It's one level up. So we're really close to the fourth dimension. As far as, some of the night polarity and shenanigans that goes on this planet. Just because polarity does exist here on Earth. It definitely does. I asked my guides and I interacted with beings. Usually when you get to the 12th dimension and above, there is no more duality or polarity. 12D is kind of the barrier. Where you get above that, everyone's kind of on the same page. It's just these lower dimensions. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, us. It's just this middle. It's not the entire universe. And I'm saying dimension, density and dimension are different. Okay, but dimension. What if you're born with your heart on the other side? Okay, then I would stick, if you're born with your heart on the other side, then you know what I would say? I would stick to which side of your body your heart is on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Where's your heart? Where is your heart? Now, and this is something everyone can pay attention to with the tones. Boop. How many people get tones in their ears or ringing in their ears? Boop. Let me help you with this. Left tone equals, if you guys are taking notes, take notes. Left tone in your ear, boop, equals yes. It also equals, we are here with you, you are safe, everything's going to be okay. Left tone. You go out into a festival, you look at a partner or you look at someone you want to go talk to, and you get a boop in your left ear, go talk to that person. That's a heart connection. Just, everyone has different bells and whistles in their body. Let me help you with this one. Now, right side. Boop. Equals no. No. Should I text my ex-girlfriend at 2 a.m. hammered? Boop. You get that? No. Don't do that, okay? No. It also means be on guard. Someone is trying to hack your energy body. So when I get my right ear goes off, I go John Wayne. Let me explain how I do it. Let's do the nice one first. Left ear tones, I'm meditating. Goes left ear. Boop. I look over, my eyes are on. Left tone, I instantly relax. I imagine myself, visualize myself in that robe with the golden sandals, and I go, how can I help you? Almost like the Palladians are coming to say hi, okay? You don't act like a jackass, okay? Not everyone's the same. Hi, how are you? Blessings. Yes, I would love a healing. Okay. Now, my right ear goes off. Boop. I literally just go John Wayne. I feel like I'm Hellboy, and I got a huge gat on the side of my leg, and I put my hand on it, and I'm like, yo, homie, can I help you? Are you lost? Like, I snap, boom, that fast. I don't have time to play games down here. I'm still working on the grid. So if you step into my space, you either step with that heart on, and I shall respect you. You step with some shenanigans, you might run into something you're not prepared to deal with. That's how I roll and how I do my thing. So I have to be like that because I can't be in the gray area. I have to know, are you cool? Are you a turd? I don't have time to figure it out this fast. Are you salt or are you pepper? Action. Are you service to others? Or are you service to self? Action. It's that fast for me. So it'd be the same thing when you're driving a vehicle. You have to know which side of the street you're driving on. This traffic's going this way. If you change lanes, that could be your life, right? Oncoming traffic. So I do it like that. So the right side, pay attention to, and shield up. I say this mantra: only those beings which exist in the highest order of light may stand in my presence. Only those beings which exist in the highest order of light may stand in my presence. Only those beings which exist in the highest order of light may stand in my presence. Only those beings which exist in the highest order of light may stand in my presence. Say it 4 times. All your mantras, you say 4 times. 3 times is BS. It's always been 4 times, 4 directions. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense. So is different things happen for different people? Like Mylene's asking, what happens if in the left ear, getting clicking in the left ear?
Pay attention.
Would that be the same as the ringing? Or is
that's the
different?
same. You see, listen, your ears, people can get tones. Like, think about very binary things. Like, you're waking up an unconscious vessel that can't hear, that can't see, that can barely feel. Their ears are working. So you're trying to send them messages, and they're like, okay, I barely got that one. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm unconscious again. I went to yoga. I went to hot yoga. I took a smoothie. Oh shit, I did some work on the elliptical, and all of a sudden you're up. Here's the thing: how long can you stay up? It's like an antenna. It takes energy to keep your frequency up. It's not free. You have to take care of your suit, take the right vitamins. Every single being out there, listen to me. It's really important what you put in your body. It's really important sun charging. It's really important coming from your heart and being a good person. That is the speed. Now, some of us, right, we went like this and we never shut off. I haven't shut off since 2009. I don't know what unconscious is. What I know is that I'm not allowed to do this. I've worked too damn hard to maintain my foundation. And that's why your bodies you should really love. Because check this out. You put all that hard work in over those years, it's almost impossible to shut you off. Because your cells and your body support you. They support, your body is not your enemy, ladies and gents. Your body supports and loves you and supports you. You take care of that body, it'll take care of you. I can't tell you how many times you get in a situation and all of a sudden you're in a foot race or you're running something down and you can look to your left, right at your homies that don't do cardio. And they're like, hold on a minute. I just lift weights. So I'm like, hey man, you got to get your shit together. You got to start doing cardio. I'll be back. I'm running something down in the forest or something. Yeah, that's another cool thing that comes, later. But yeah, cardio. Cardio is really important, especially before you work out. And here's why. You need to give your body the opportunity to filter your blood. If you don't raise your heart above 120, if you don't do your cardio every day, every other day, for at least 20 minutes, You have to remember, you're not doing cardio for what you look like in the suit. No. Give your body and all of your organs the opportunity to do their jobs and filter your blood. That's their job. Don't live a life where your organs can't support you because you're not active enough. That's all I'm trying to say. So there's different reasons why we work out and we do different things, strength training. But the real reason is let your body have the ability to heal you. That's all I'm saying. Brother.
We have here, what if the tone is continuous from Atusa on our Facebook?
Okay, what if the tone is continuous? Okay.
Constant ringing.
All the time?
Yeah.
There's a potential for multiple things. There could be neurological things. There could be damaged things. She could be a very high frequency being that actually can feel or hear 5G or cell phones or Wi-Fi. You know, you have to do a test. Does that thing go off like crazy when you get next to a cell phone tower or when you get next to your router in your house? When does it happen? Where does it happen? You see what I'm saying? You have to do your own deduction and go, every time I get within 15 feet of that router at the office, it starts ringing like crazy. So you have to pay. You may have a very sensitive suit, right? Vessel that is more sensitive than others. You know, I like that one famous quote, you know, country music is going through the air right now, right through our bodies, Jesse. Even though we can't hear it, there's some honky tonk going on through the radio waves right now. Like, you know, there's some honky tonk and some Elvis just playing right through our face, just radio waves. What I'm trying to say is that some of us are more sensitive to others. But I am here to tell you, yes, left ear, yes equals no. Left equals yes. Left equals yes. Right equals no. Pay attention. Be on guard. On guard. My right ear fires. I'm on guard. I shift. I deal with it. I make a direct thing. Back up. It'll shut off. Tone will shut off. But you guys can get very good with that without having, you know, before your third eye comes on or your throat chakra or your heart, you know, that's something that almost everyone, if they just tuned into it, would go, I can do that right now. Okay. Another one too is yes and no with your hands. Ask any question in the universe like this. Check this out. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, check it. Left hand, yes. Right hand, no. Put your hands out like this. Should I take this job? Higher self. Yes. Shake your left hand or no. Yes. What you'll do is you'll feel a twitch go through your hand. Close your eyes and you ask. Palms up. Another thing too for you Reiki masters out there, if you can't get the hands to twitch, pay attention right here, the most sensitive part where your blood actually is touching. You might feel this. It'll be a little vibration right here on that thin, very sensitive part of your wrist. You'll feel a yes, yes, okay, or no. Left hand yes, right hand no. Another one, left hand receiving. Left hand is your receiving side. Your left foot is your receiving side. Your right hand is your sending side. Your right foot is your sending side. Cool. Jesse, do you know what the fingers do?
The energy that comes out the end of them?
Do you know what each finger represents?
Not specifically.
Let's go. Hey, bro, look, it's me and you now. Let's have a session. Everyone's in our session. I want to teach you how to be a freaking Jedi. Everyone out there, listen. Wind.
Left,
do it with
right?
me. Wind. Pointer. Wind.
Does it matter? Left, right, both?
Nope. It's the same element per hand. So
okay.
Wind.
Wind.
Okay. Fire. Middle finger's fire. I'm not going to flick you off. Fire.
Fire.
Okay. Water. Index.
Water.
Earth. Pinky. Okay. Now your thumb is, it could be ether, or what it really is intent. What do I want to do with all of these? So when Yeshua is going like this, what is he doing? Tell me.
Earth and wind.
Okay, he's pointing with what? Wind and fire.
Wind and fire.
He's got him pointed at a direction up. Now look, his intent is to balancing the balance of water. He's balancing his energy with water, which is balancing. And the earth, his thumb's going over the earth too, which is pointing down to the ground, earth. So he's going like this. He's shooting a beam of golden energy through those fingers. That's not random. That is like, whoop, what's up? What are you doing? It is like a laser beam that he's pointing like this. So same thing in a Jet Li movie. When you see a Kung Fu master, why do they point their pinkies down? Watch every kung fu movie ever made. Their pinkies are grounded. Their ground finger is pointing down. So they're moving energy while they're doing kung fu. Those pinkies are pointed down. So remember that. So when I go like this, what am I meditating with?
With your earth and your...
No, that's your thumb. This is your wind.
Wind.
Come on, wind.
Wind.
Fire. Water. Earth. Okay,
Wind,
check it.
fire, water, earth.
What I'm doing this, what am I doing?
So you're grounding yourself with the wind?
No, that's wind. That's wind.
Wind.
Fire.
Water.
Earth. Now go through all the Vedic books that have ever existed and go look at all the mudras, the Brahmas, or the beautiful Bhagavad Gita, all of those which study, Buddhism and the Hindus out there. When you see those pictures of those mantras where they're going like this, right? Or they're making different hand gestures, right? Now pay attention to what they're actually doing. Once you know the elements, you know what they're doing. You're like, oh, that is this. I got it. Once you understand the elements, it's like arithmetic. Once you know the numbers, then you can see what they're doing. I think that's cool. I share that with you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
So,
now, what is, your thoughts on, the people that have gotten this injection, people that have passed on? I remember I heard you saying something, maybe a year and a half or a year ago, that they were in kind of a holding space.
They're not going to reincarnate until after the shift. So that's great news for all of our friends and family who have passed. That's a gift. Anyone who passed in this last 2 or 3 years, it's actually gone back all the way till, I think, end of 2019. Anyone who's passed, they're saying 15. 2015 forward, everyone's being held in a holding pattern until after the shift. So you're not going to go into the incarnation wheel right away. If you choose to do that, you're going to be paused until the planet raises its frequency and come in, which of course you would want to anyways. You don't want to reincarnate back in the 3D. How many people across the planet, I don't know, we can't do a thumbs up, are done with 3D? I think we're all ready for 5D. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot pay. There's not enough money on this planet to afford us coming back down here. You can't pay us enough. We're here. The only reason why we showed up here was for our friends and family and to help our brothers and sisters. There is no monetary thing that you could ever give us to do this. This is because we love our family and we showed up to support our family. That's it. There's nothing else in the universe in this fake Babylonian money magic BS. Okay? There's nothing more important than the love we have for our family, or we never would have come here. I can't be more real with you. There's nothing you could offer me to turn off my ascension. If you couldn't offer me $1 billion to go unconscious. Turn off all your gifts. Forget all your higher selves. Forget why you came here. Forget all your friends on ship. Forget the planet you herald from. Forget all of that for $1 billion of fake Babylonian money magic. I would just, I would say read between the lines. And I'll see you in your dreams is what I would tell you. So what I'm trying to get to you, ladies and gents, remember how powerful you are and why we came here. That we're not here for some weird... We can't be purchased. We are priceless, eternal beings. I can't be more real with you guys. You guys are so priceless and beautiful and special. Okay, that's why everyone vies over this planet so hard. Okay, because they know how special you are, even though you might not remember it. Okay, brother.
So why do some people wake up and some people still asleep? It doesn't matter how intelligent, how much facts you can show them.
It's your life path.
Things, and they just won't see beyond the veil.
Well, it's your life path, and it's really a lot of it is about fear. I've been with full-grown men on activations and missions that we do and deal with some pretty gnarly stuff, and they're shaking like a 6-year-old it's not about how strong you are when you're doing spiritual stuff, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm getting to is that some people wake up with a purpose. Some of us came here with this knowledge preloaded. Some of us who have older souls, or more, I would say all souls are the same age. Okay, cool. I like that. But then we can say is that our souls have made different experiences. There's no way I could do my job right now if this is my first run. You know what I mean? Oh, this is my first time? No, I know how to do things I have no conception of. The upper dimensional stuff that you guys are doing out there is far beyond the 3D physical veil. So I just want to be real with you. Everyone has to first choose love, right? At least love yourself, because you cannot truly love anyone. Really, honestly, your kids, your mom, your dad, if you don't first love yourself. If you don't know what love is, you're just lying all the time. You're just putting a smile on your face. Finding that self-love is very, very difficult. Protecting your inner child, supporting your inner child, supporting who you really are. Not the mask you put on when you go to work, or the mask you put on when you're sitting at family dinner, or your friends or coworkers or drinks after work. The real you. Finding and supporting the inner child is something that, is very important, because I can tell you first and foremost, your inner child is who walks you through the gates of heaven. It's not your Anunnaki 8D. It's not some sci-fi Taigetan Palladian. Your inner child, imagine a little 6 to 9-year-old version of yourself, grabs your hand and is the one that walks you through those golden gates into 5D and into heaven. All the rest of this shit doesn't matter. It's that golden heart that we all possess. That is why we are valuable. That is why we are special. It is that spark of creation. It's the spark of the universe. It is what makes life worth living. Some of us have been unconscious for so many incarnations down here. We've forgotten that.
Angel bumps all over my body while you're just talking here.
I'm just telling you, that's the truth. Your inner child, imagine you when you're 6 or 7 years old, goes this way when we cross worlds, and it's your own inner child going, let's go, they're waiting for us. And like the golden gates look like two harps. If you guys haven't seen it before, two golden harps open, and they got two huge doormen at the doors, but it plays a tone and the golden doors open, and it's your inner child that walks you in there. So I just want everyone, if you're really about heaven and peace on earth, just remember who's walking you through the gates. It's not your 4D. It's not any of these lower dimensional, super sci-fi, weird AI, nanotech from the fifth. None of that. It's your inner child. Our Creator knows us and who we really are. He knows our hearts. He knows our inner children. He knows who you really are. And as soon as you see that or feel that energy again, it's hard to even talk about it down here, man. It's hard to even be here.
Is that why shadow work is so important right now? And
Bro,
that's why you're saying
it's so powerful.
Take care of that inner child. Make sure you nurture it. Make sure you protect it, because that's what's ultimately going to lead you through.
Everything that you've ever done is only worth it to feel that sort of energy again. Everything else that's ever come before and after means nothing. It's not even close. To feel the eternal spirit of all things and the innocence and purity of what that is, there's nothing in this entire existence that compares. Nothing. So it's something that we left to come down here and help out. And it's a sacrifice that many of us have made just to be here, sitting down here with our friends and family and holding their hands as they go through this. Having been here for a little time now, I can say that we have changed this world 100%, and our job has been successful. But I'm here to remind you of what awaits us when we leave this place. Should be no fear of death whatsoever. Everyone here is very special, and everyone here needs to remember that your purpose and what you came here to learn, and the hearts that you came here to change for the better, should be your first focus. And then, of course, loving yourself and stepping into that power so you can actually become the light. Not a being that runs towards the light. That's how you are in the beginning when you're running from shadow. But to actually be the light, to actually emanate everything, to emanate the light that others see. That is something I wish the whole planet to experience, and that's something that we're all working on.
Be the light that you want to see in the world. And I'm giving you a big virtual hug there, brother.
Thanks, man. Because I start pulling up memories because, I go there and I'm like, I don't want to come out. Can I come home? Did I do something wrong? I mean, I'm sitting there like, I don't want to wake up in the body and make coffee and eat pancake. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't know, I rather just be with all my homies upstairs, man. You got your higher selves are so awesome. If you could actually just spend time and hang out with your own higher self and say the seventh dimension, left-hand side, where the angels reign, 5D, not many beings can fly. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble. And there's not many angels in 5D. 7D, yeah. 9D, absolutely. So what I'm getting to, and that's on your light side. If you guys want to know about these templates, I keep forgetting that you guys might be the first time you've ever seen me. Go to store.teamlight.com. Go to sessions. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's 3 free articles for you guys to download. It's free. One is how to write a soul agreement or soul contract. One is my multidimensional template, and I think the other one's the vitamins and session notes I give. Download those; they're free. It's for you. When I'm saying these different dimensions, I would like you to have the piece of paper in front of you and go, "Oh, that's what he's talking about." It'll help you because that is the shorthand version, my multidimensional template of what I had to understand to do my job down here. I had to go, are you 6D, 5D? Where are you? What polarity? Because when you're in a gnarly fast situation, a fast-moving target, you got to get in, you got 15 minutes, you got to get out. I don't have time for the long hand. I have to go, are you cool? Are you cool? Where are you sitting in my stream? What polarity are you? I had to know instantly. So what I'm trying to say is I learned on the job. And I think many of us can agree learning on the job is almost the best form of education, okay? Especially when there's real things, on the line. So, whew. Jesse, you got my emotions going, bro.
I work very good under pressure, and that's kind of the way I am. I just know how to snap into, and in my dreams, I do fly a lot. I'm able to jump and run and fly through. I think it's supposed to be a lot more different here than it is. Yep. And I think we're going to get back to
our DNA. Once our dormant DNA activates, a lot of this, this whole place is going to feel like an old sci-fi movie from the 70s, which no one can remember the name of. Imagine our whole reality will be an old 1966 sci-fi black and white movie that no one can remember the title. What do you think happens when we have a paradigm shift? Does anyone want to view that shit show? No. I mean, I've seen so much weird, poor writing down here. I mean, as a guardian, there's a lot of poor writing down here. I think us as co-creators could do a better job, personally. But I am here to say, as the change of the guard, and as the wing makers incarnated, and as the wing makers are here watching, and the different Andromedas here, Pleiades are here, Taigetans, Engans, Arcturians are here, Alpha Centauri is here, Pegasus, all the Nords are here. You got the Anunnaki are here, the cool ones. You got some of the dragons that are cool. There are cool dragons, by the way. They're not all turds. You got some cool reptilians here. You got some cool mantid beings. There's even what I'm trying to get to is this. You don't want to get specious. It's kind of like being racist. No. A true being of awesomeness, which is everything. Once you get to that evolved state, I am everything, and you are me, and I am you. At that state, right? That sixth density consciousness. The thing to understand is, are you here to help? Or are you here to take? You're here to help the planet? I love you. I don't care what your organization is. You're here to free the souls of Earth, free us from bondage, heal us, help us, support us? I love you. If you're here for some weird ET real world, you're only here to serve yourself because you're lazy in a shit show and worried about once we find out what you've done, we're going to come hunt you down in 500 or 1,000 years. I'd be worried too. Okay? What I'm trying to get to is that you can't lead with fear. Okay? Fear always ends up biting you in the ass. Do you know why, Jesse? Do you know why fear always fails in the end?
Well, I'm not sure why, but it's the opposite of love. And if you're not in the love vibration, then you're only separating yourself from yourself. And if you're separating yourself from who you truly are, it's all going to come back to you.
Yes. In a more imperial version, almost like the Dark Empire version, right? Let's see why this fear always ends up working against you. Okay? It works against you because you create something that you cannot control. And you've taught this aspect of yourself to be just like you. And in that dog-eat-dog world, imagine having a pit bull, and you feed that pit bull, and maybe you bred this pit bull to be the greatest fighter ever. This is the greatest fighting pit bull ever created. And this pit bull will serve me. Let me explain what happens. Imagine that pit bull is a species. Since it was a little kid, you taught it to fight. It's been fighting its whole life. It gets rewarded when it fights. That's all it knows. I win, I get fed. Master loves me. Check this out. Eventually, that pit bull keeps growing and growing and morphing and changing and evolving. And eventually, when you put that food bowl down, it takes a look at you as you're no longer my master, or it smells any weakness on you, and it goes after you. And that's what happens through species. We're using the AI stuff, using different species that only think about that fear. Eventually, you run into something that is not scared. Eventually, you run into something that is actually just like you, but worse. You actually created something worse than you. That's the problem. When you create something out of love, that pit bull would give its life and knock you out of the way and take that car because it loves you. Just like you love your parents. Hey, I love you. Hey, Mom, I know I'm younger, but get out of the way. Boom. I mean, you're taking the car. That's love. I would give you everything because I love you. I would do anything for you because I love you. It's a different frequency. It's just something that every parent knows that when they look at their kids, they would go, I would die for you in a heartbeat. You are my everything. You know what I mean? And it's something you can't replicate. That love is something that's universal. So I say to all those out there living in shadow, you've never seen the real test. The real test, once you see it, most of you, 90% of the people pretending they're night side on this planet, once you see what I've seen, you would never choose the night side. You have no idea how dark that well goes. You can't even grasp it. I'm not even allowed to talk about it down here. That's how it is. You'd be like, oh, I'm not that bad. I'm not that. I'm not that. No. I'm like, you want to go? You want to come see? You want to come see how they treat you in Orion and some of the mining colonies? Whoa, no. I'm bad for Earth. Okay, stop playing bad. Be good people. Our Creator loves us. So I'm trying to say is for everyone in this duality game, I talk to both sides of duality. I have to sit in the middle. I'm like a referee. Okay, I'm not Goody Two-Shoes and I'm not Darth Vader. I'm something in between. I'm like a Darth Vader outfit with like a Team Light hat, but like I have like Skittles. And I'm like, hey, just choose wisely. I feel like, you know what I feel like, Jesse? Remember the guy at the end of Indiana Jones? The old man, like in part 3, when like all the Grail cups are in there, you know? And he's like, these are the cups of Christ. You know, and like that one German guy runs in and the chick's like, oh yeah, that's a cup of Christ. And the old man's like, the old Templar, right? He's like, oh yeah, for sure, bro, drink that. Yeah, and he drinks and he like melts, you know, and then like Indiana Jones, you know, I feel like I'm that old man Templar. I'm like, choose wisely, and then like Indiana Jones runs in there. He's like, oh no, that's a carpenter's cup, and the old man's like, you've chosen wisely. Thank you. I feel some of us in our souls have been through so many resets and so many incarnations. We hold these positions to help and to share wisdom and love with everyone who may not have had these experiences and go, hey, choose your heart. Come together. We are so much more powerful together. It's out of control. The separation thing's got to stop. So together, we're unstoppable. And that's what the dark really fears. And the night side and the control matrix and all these weird little nerd ETs pretending there's something special when they're janitors. Honestly, janitors from other planets. To be honest, they fear us going, we are one. Let's create some cool things. I can't wait to live in paradise with my brothers and sisters. That is the one thing that is left to be unlocked on this planet. And I just love every single person on this planet, no matter where you are on your journey. Brother, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Love you too, brother. Here's a question from JK. She says, the dragons are below Epstein's dome and the Queen's castle. Any knowledge about this? The last battle has to deal with a dragon? Question mark?
Yeah, there is... I can talk in code for this. There's 2 or 3 turds left that have a very long life that, yes, exist in the physical plane. They are known. One's in Spain. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But yeah, there are beings that are not human that other humans or hybrids take orders from that are here in the physical plane right now. So you have to understand there is huge amounts of life forms under our feet and in these mountains. There are very old things that could be hundreds, if not thousands of years old that are still giving orders down here and are still a part of an old system which no longer holds any water. Cool.
Very cool. Here's something, maybe you can contact her afterwards, but it says, Rion, I've been intending to get in touch with you. My family needs your help with my sister, Christy. She is possessed by 3 grand Enoch demons. We have tried preachers and other avenues and hasn't helped, gotten worse. I am in
No problem.
Azurite Seraphim family.
So, Lisa, just message my brother Jesse. I just need your coordinates and where you are. We'll get in contact. We'll take a look at that. Okay, Alan. Yes, bro. Bro, look, bro. It's all sexy, dude. I put the glasses on. I got lights in my eyes, and sometimes when I'm channeling, my eyes are closed. Okay? Calm down.
I don't mind the glasses. You do you. So
Hey, well, I want to make everyone happy. Look. Can you see me now? We're here. We're going to flip this planet. See you soon. That's who I am. So that's what I wanted you guys to know.
where are we at when
Do you have any proof of what, Alan? Get back here. I like Alan. Alan, do you have any proof of what? Where they are? Look at where the Vatican is. What controls the Vatican? Why does the ceiling in the Vatican look like a giant serpent head? What are hybrids? What are reptilians? What are those beings that you could Google right now where their eyes actually have an extra lens that go like this? There's a lot of research you need to do, right? And a lot of inner knowingness you need to have. It may take you 5 years to go down that wormhole. I've been awake since '09. How about the Busegi mountain range? Why is the Israeli government guarding the Busegi mountain range? What's in the Busegi mountain range? What is this Anunnaki base? Look up Busegi mountain range discovery in 2006. Why do all the Romanians know they found an Anunnaki base in '06 and the planet's still yet to really disclose it? Okay, there are real things going on all around us. The research and input you need to understand is you have to go and deep dive into what this is really going on. It may take you a year or two. My thing is that there's an order and operation going on here, and there are a lot of old things here that are not human. Never said they were human, never had to be human. And that's the thing people have a hard time understanding, is that we're dealing with things that aren't human. So you're trying to explain to a human that doesn't think this thing exists, right? Okay, but to understand, no, that being is giving orders to those that serve it that affects our lives, right? But you first have to open your mind to there are things in the ground in these dumb spaces, okay? Different species living under our feet and in these mountains. There's a huge, I don't want to get into it right now, but that huge sand dunes out in New Mexico, I forget where it is. Maybe it's New Mexico, north of New Mexico. There's 100% pure silica. It looks like something dug out underground city, and they turned everything into glass, and it made this huge sand dome over the whole area. There are places on this earth with certain radar and sonar technologies, they can see right through the ground. There's huge facilities all over the place. But again, they're not going to tell the normal people out there that are barely dealing with the 3D drama that's going on the surface. You know what I mean? We're dealing with teenager shit on the surface. They're not ready for things that existed 2,000 years ago under our feet that are not even human. We're talking about human growing lessons right now. There's other things involved in this planet that are far older and that some of which are not human. Cool?
Any thoughts on when full disclosure comes?
I think full disclosure is us, and I think we're getting closer every single day. I mean, if we're talking about an EBS and they're going to show, like, what are we talking about disclosure? We're talking about all the weirdos that have been arrested? Are we talking about
all kinds of stuff, the stuff underground, like just like you talked about what's in Antarctica. Like some people are more worried about the Kardashians and what Kanye West is saying than some of the real stuff that's happening, the spiritual battle that's here.
Here's the thing. Everyone picks and chooses the level of consciousness they want to be a part of. When you start to understand and ask yourself real deep questions, you could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. You're still 13 years old in your emotional body inside of that suit. Okay? once you understand that there's still a lot to learn, and we've had a lot hidden from us. Not to mention the stuff they put in the water, the air, the jibby jabs, all this stuff to really slow us down and make us go unconscious. Fluoride in the water. There's been an active, in our food, there's been an active thing going on here for centuries, at least 100 years, to shut off our gifts. Like, how do we just totally shut off our gifts, right? So what I'm getting to is there's a lot of things leading against us. So some of us who resist against that, yes, yeah, we take some lumps, from people that are just waking up. But what I can tell you is this: I'm 100,000% more critical and cynical than anyone you guys have ever met. The fact that I can sit here, I had to see it for myself. I had to be in these conversations and do things in the physical and show up, right, in the physical to get this sort of understanding. So, but everyone has to make that journey within themselves. Some of these people need to go up on top of Machu Picchu and sit and camp up there for the night. And when the beings show up and the angelic songs turn on, or on top of Mount Shasta, and then explain, wow, my whole reality is completely cracking around me. This is not at all what I thought it was. People need to have those breakthrough moments within their own journey. You can lead a horse to water. You cannot make them drink. Someone has to want to wake up. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you have to really want it. You have to be like, I really want to know. And then do the research and do the things necessary to find that out. That's all. And everyone has their own experience. So everyone's on their own journey.
Linda, a good friend of ours, asking, what has more spiritual validity? I will believe it when I see it, or I will see it when I believe it.
Okay, here's the thing about even beings that can actually project invisibility, okay? All right, check this out. There are beings that can raise their frequency, that can walk right next to you. They're not physically invisible, but you're so low vibration that you actually can't consciously see them. They're invisible to you. There's been many accounts of that, things caught on camera that the person standing there right next to it can't see. There's something right there. The camera picks it up. So what I'm getting to is feeling before seeing. I would say everything resonates from my heart first. Feeling before seeing, because sometimes your eyes can lie to you, right? With these fake holograms and some of the fake ways they've been used, I would feel into something with my heart first. I would pause, lean into it, use all my gifts, and then I would also see. So I kind of tango. In the beginning, when I first woke up, I was eyes on, eyes first, okay? I woke up in 2009. My heart did not turn on till 2015. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 6 years. My heart was off. My abilities, no heart. So it helped a lot when I turned that heart on and I had to feel things for the first time. Since I was 9 years old, it was very, it was very difficult for me. It was very difficult. But now, being who I am now, I would never turn my heart off. I would rather feel the truth than, the false illusion. Another thing, too, is it's very hard for anyone on this planet to be tricked or hypnotized if their heart's on. Because if you don't trust someone's intention, you can feel it straight away. You're like, well, you guys have watched people online. You see these new people, up and coming people, and they're talking. And I watch them, and I'm like, I'm not really resonating. It feels like I'm listening to a tape recorder. It feels like a pre-recorded statement. Is this a commercial? What am I watching? Like, my consciousness slams into people like this. If I can't feel your heart, I'm like, wah, next. Oh, we got to next. Until I find someone who's like, hey, I like you. You're a nice person. Just like I like you, Jesse. I got to feel you. I got to feel your heart, or it's not real for me. And like I said, I've put myself through, I've almost died 6 or 7 times, guys. I've put myself on the line. So when I say, hey, come from your heart, I'm not just coming from like Care Bear stare. Your heart is the first thing that develops when you're a little baby in the womb. The first thing is the heart cells. Your heart is your power source, which powers all of your abilities, all of your chakras. Turning that heart on is not just for emotional stability. Nay, this is like your green, cobalt, green. That's why I always wear the Green Lantern shirt. That is your power source to go, boom, I can see you. What's up? It's your power source, your heart. So when you shut that heart off because you can't feel, you also shut off your gifts. So hope that helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. Patricia is asking, how easy is it to meet other incarnations of your higher self? And does he think 2 different ones can incarnate at the same time? And then she just added, I mean, at the same time as far as being on Earth at the same frequency dimension.
Yes. Okay, so check this out. I learned this the hard way. If you guys don't know, but in my old videos on Unite the Collective, I talk about this. I have fired 3 higher selves. 3.
What do you mean fired?
Fired. They were looshing off me. They weren't prepared. Listen, your life's a probability. They didn't think I'd be where I am right now. There were aspects in my consciousness that bet against me. Imagine I'm a thoroughbred horse. I was 50-50 in 2012. I would be there on the plateau December 21st, 2012, holding that place down. When I got home, I asked my highest light, top left-hand side, my most evolved aspect of my light side. I said, what was the probability? They said 50-50. I'm like, it was flipping a coin. It was 50-50. They go, yeah, there's no guarantee you were going to wake up. There's no guarantee you would be at the level you are right now. It was a probability. There is no certainties in this game. So once I learned that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to keep going. I'm just getting warmed up. You know what I mean? You kind of get this thing where you keep, doing good at your job and you get better and better. Now, this is where I learned this question. Replace 2 of my higher selves. I'm not going to go into it. It's kind of personal. For whatever reason, they weren't helping me, okay? 2 of the guys on my night side, let's just say. And the 1 guy on my light side. Check this out. I had a higher self on my light side. Again, I'm not going to tell you which dimensional self because it's like a personal thing. But I punched into him and I said, hey, man, I need you. I'm on the battlefield. We're cleaning stuff up. I'm fighting demons down here. What are you doing? I don't feel you. Because when I used to do my meditations, I could see each of my higher selves. And the certain meditation I do, if you guys go to Unite the Collective on YouTube, there's something called like training videos. Go to the video that says how to clear. There's a technique I teach you how to clear. And I do it in the shower or the steam room, how to clear. So anyways, I'm doing this technique and I say align, 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 align. Each of my higher selves are plugged into my silver cable and I can see each of them going up as we're getting ready when I'm clearing stuff or when I'm getting ready to do some gnarly stuff. Well, I noticed this one jackass on my light side would always be late or not show up. So that's straight up, this jackass. And I was like, what is the deal with this guy? And I'm like, and then I literally put it to a vote. I'm sitting in the sequoias. I'm in a jacuzzi in the sequoias in this one private ranch all by myself. And I literally put it to a vote. I'm like, raise your hands and we should fire this jackass. And they all my higher selves, which is insane, on the light and the night side actually agreed. They're like, can that dude? And what he was doing was he had 6 other vessels in the game. 6. So he was spreading. His fractality was watching 6 different avatars or characters in the game. And I said, yo, homie, you have a choice. I need all of your attention and all of your focus. I don't know what these other fractals of yours are doing. I need 100% participation from me because I'm putting my ass on the line out here doing real shit. What are you watching? 5 guys from Okino and a couple in, popping berries over there in, Colorado. I don't know. It doesn't matter where it is. But I'm trying to say is, where are you, dude? So I fired that guy. But the truth is, he's back now, but in a different way. He doesn't like when I tell the story. He's like, you're going to put me on blast again, huh? You're going to tell me? Because these guys, they're on me like, I have to be very careful. Like, we have mended these things. But yes, I can tell you to answer your question. Yes, your higher selves can have more than one vessel. But again, that was a above 10D version on the light side, 11D and up version. It was not a lower dimension. It wasn't a 5th dimensional or a 4th dimension. It was a higher dimensional being that was monitoring 6 vessels at the same time. You may have fractals, right? For all I know, these are soul families, and some of these fractals, maybe if you meet another female fractal or male fractal or partner fractal, do we call that a twin flame? Are you from the same higher self aspect? There's a lot of questions to figure that out. So, Jesse, I love you. Come on, bro. It's going to go on for hours. Come on, give me.
what would be the difference between your higher selves and then maybe your spirit guides?
Okay, spirit guides are the homies of your higher selves. Write it down. So, spirit guides are the homies of your higher selves. They are not your higher selves. Your higher selves are those that are braided and attached to your DNA. My higher selves, usually when I have house parties at my house, I had big Halloween parties and whatnot. After everyone leaves, I'm like, closing time. every new beginning. I basically boot everyone's higher self out of my house so I can sleep. They're still partying, 300 feet in the air, like, oh, it's going. They're going hard. Our higher selves are going hard. I'm trying to shut this down, like Old Man River. I'm like, hey, it's 2 a.m. That was a great party. Get out of here. But what I say is, everyone except my or my partner's higher selves bounce. And my higher selves, if you're braided into this body through my DNA, one of my higher selves, yes, you can stay. Everyone else's higher selves, you got to go. So it's closing time, That's fantastic, Relay. I'm excited for you. Ali, my brother. I don't know. Are you all, Jesse? Are you all there, bro? Like, you're throwing up some like hilarious things. You're just like clicking. You're like, let's get it. Listen.
Well, I'm so behind on all the comments.
We gotta
I'm just trying to get. I wasn't reading.
That was really funny though. Go back. Let's go ahead and show the whole world while we're laughing.
Riley.
My butthole developed first. That, you know what, Riley? I love it. And Scully, I don't know. Is that from X-Files? I love you. That's fantastic.
She's been on the missing link, so she.
No, I like her.
She's here to educate.
You got to have an attitude.
And she does it in a very comical way. So she tries to make light and make fun
that
of
is a
things
master.
And so yeah, she does really good.
Master. That she is a master. You know why? Because talking about really gnarly stuff, but making jokes so people could heal from it is mastery. Okay, and I tip my hat off to her. She's very funny. Yeah. All right. So I love you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. Brother, anything else?
Yeah, we still got lots here to go.
You got like leopard. I feel like you got me Lucky Charms at the end of the rainbow. I'll do 2 more questions. How does that sound?
Okay. Now, you said that there was just like a few of these dark entities here left. A lot of people, like a lot of people here are still concerned because there's a lot of people still dying. They're still pushing the jabs. They're talking about med beds coming out, but there's a lot of hopium, but a lot of it is not coming to fruition, I guess, as fast as things should be. So where is that scale in turn compared to the whole thing? Like, are we looking for a lot more turmoil before this golden light age comes?
One more large event left. The critical mass of the collective consciousness must will things to move faster, or imagine a cogs of a wheel. We have to meet certain criteria. Everyone on this platform, we 100,000% get it. Have you ever been to a Walmart in Oklahoma? Have you ever been to some of these places on Earth? We are very accelerated. By the way, I love Oklahoma, and everyone. I get some things from Walmart too. What I'm getting to is there's different levels of consciousness on this planet. We get it here. We are literally the embodiment of change on Earth. Everyone watching my face right now, you're watching this right now, you're top tier. Even if you're conscious, unconscious, just waking up, there's a reason why you're watching this. But the average of everything is shifting right now. And I think with the financial changes, the governmental changes, the release of certain things, I believe the bed tech will be released. I don't know which version. I already know there's 2 different versions out there. There's one for the civilians and there's ones for the military. Civilian one costs about $120,000 to $150,000. The military one costs about $250,000 and up. Depends on what it regenerates. I know that. I also know that the rhyme and the reason of those that are going to use it, right? Obviously, those that are the most affected and those that are the most sick and that need it the most should have first access. Do you not agree?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Now, I also think that that sort of technology in weirdos' hands that we want to leave the planet should never be in their hands. Do you also agree?
100%.
There's some old turds on this planet that we do not want to give that technology to. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. There's some really gnarly, nasty little turds that should never have had that technology. The main thing about the black hats and the white hats, and one of the main separation clauses that happened, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago, was over, I've heard the story, it was over that, what's that one, the alchemy stone, the alchemist stone? There's some formula or technology or alchemy where you can prolong life on Earth. The alchemist stone is real. Whatever that was real. And one of the main reasons was the white hats and the dark hats are aspects of the Illuminati. Let's call it what it was, or the group at that time. The white hats, or the good guys, did not want the night hats to have that technology because they were super negative and they were going the wrong direction. And that was one of the main causes that caused that split. Again, that's the story. But imagine if some of these jackasses that are behind the scenes right now could live an extra 200 years. We want these old turds to exit like the dodo. We do not want to keep these beings around. So remember, what's the cause and effect for us? Well, who and what is getting this information? Now, the secret space program, they've been doing this stuff for 50, 60 years. I think it's like 60 years. They've been having this 20 and back program and age reversing and transferring consciousness to clone bodies. I mean, that's what I've heard in some of the secret space program people that, I've said they've gone through it. And one of those was one of the guys I actually really like is Tony Rodriguez. And I also like my brother Kramer, but I also like Tony Rodriguez. He talks about some stuff and how they do the copy and paste thing 20 and back. And this is Series Colony Cavalier. There's some things that these people are remembering their dreams and remembering past lives, remembering what happened in the 20 and back, and they're dropping real knowledge about other things. So what I'm getting to is that I think the culmination of this disclosure is not only with the secret space program, the hidden agenda, the hidden space programs, the hidden colonies, the med beds, the financial system, what's been going on under our feet, the different species that we interact with daily in some of these organizations, the corporation, the privatization of, the ICC and some of these organizations, the Majestic 12, some of these different other jackasses that never had clearance to access any sort of greater number of people or clearance to speak on behalf of the human population. You think 12 nerds had the right to agree to terms with any species over 7 billion people?
Nope.
If you believe, okay, you have to understand what some of the angelics are coming down here to fix. Some of these guys have no idea who showed up on this planet. These guys are still not in their wildest dreams. Do they understand that we have beings from the center of our galaxy that showed up to watch this? We have beings that outrank every single being in the solar system watching this game. Where I've seen our higher selves from this solar system go, oh, they're coming. And they were worried. Like the Jupiter beings, they were like, they're coming. They were like, those guys haven't showed up in 100,000 years. They're tripping out by, hey, what's going on over here on Earth? This is a fun little... There's a different level of beings watching this game, and I've tried to explain it to everyone. That's why I say, hey, be the best you can be. Be on your best behavior. Please. There are things watching this game right now. It's not 1950s. It's not the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. No. We're about to have full-blown disclosure. There are huge cosmic forces and awesome beings of greatness and purity and wisdom monitoring this game. So I just want to be real with everyone who kind of thinks, oh, I can't believe it or this or that. Hey, then believe in whatever belief system you have. Just become the best version of you can be and treat every being with respect. How does that sound?
Sounds amazing. So what do you say to Alan, who comes on the Missing Link a lot, and he's very negative, Nelly.
That's right.
You can't end their bullshit. He's like, get ready. Your children are next.
Okay, I got it. Calm. Okay. So the whole thing is that there is some real things that will make, I'm sure, Alan and a lot of us who've been waiting. Because listen, I feel like Alan sometimes too. Let's get these weirdos out of here. Let's protect our kids. Why are these beings even allowed to be here? Okay, I get it. Alan's just using that vocabulary. The emotion's the same. Feel me? Being a true patriot, which he is, my thing is that we've had about enough of this BS. And we all feel it in our hearts that we've had it. Again, what did I say? Critical mass. They're going to ride this thing, this Red October thing. They're going to ride it out for about 2 weeks, 2 more, right to the end of October. It's going to increase and increase and increase. We already know. If you look at the politics in this country, it's absolutely, it's almost comical at this point. And then you got, Turdo up there, where his own brothers, lock him up. That's literally what, look it up. His own brother's yeah, he's out of control.
We had Kyle Kemper here on the Missing Link.
Here's the deal. He was brainwashed by those guys at the WEF. I don't want to say too much to get this video banned, but
we're not on YouTube. You can say whatever you want.
Oh shit!
We've had 3 YouTube channels deleted.
But what about? But we're on Facebook.
Yeah, and they for some reason Facebook only has algorithms for typing and post. They don't have an AI for voices. We say vaccine, election fraud, we say corona, we say everything.
Wow.
Nothing ever happens to us here on Facebook. But if you post about it, you type
Boom.
about it, you make a meme about it, you
Well,
get
hey,
in
look,
trouble.
I want everyone to share. My thing is this. I feel a lot like Alan, and just similar to I guess how Ray feels. If you guys have seen the interviews with Ray on TLS with Miss Jason Shurka, there's a certain thing that, like, I have seen some crazy shit since '09. The more bad, negative stuff you see, the more it changes you. Okay, everyone wants to think that if you go, like, imagine soldiers coming back from war. When they get back, they're not the same as when they left. It takes a lot of healing and processing to go through that. And doing some of the things that we do, it does change us. And what I can say is that us warriors out there, spiritually and in the physical, our job is to hold space and to make everyone aware of these shenanigans that's going on, and that we do not comply and we do not agree. And that's all we can do right now. And you know what I mean? Until we have a situation where it comes to something greater than that. I am hoping it doesn't get to that. And I believe that this whole timeline is so closely monitored right now that I want people to really understand this whole timeline is being so monitored. Every single plank second, every single emotion, every single move, every single little thing you're seeing has been checked, cross-checked probably 100,000 times. So I want you guys to understand there are higher powers that have our best interest in mind, that are watching this game right now, watching this reality, and have our best interests in mind to support humanity and the beauty of what it is. I have to stay in that place. That is my place of love and light. If I jump off into fear land or Debbie Downer land, it'll drop your frequency, and then what happens? We all join that shit show frequency. It's hard to come up. When I'm in a good mood, I try to make everyone around me in a good mood. I don't try, I do. Right? It's quantum mechanics. The higher the frequency you are, you balance or raise everything around you. You guys may have friends where you experience this. Your friend's experiencing a really bad day. You go over there, buy him a coffee, put your hand around him. Hey, man, it's going to be okay. She was kind of lame anyways, or he was kind of lame anyways. We never really liked him. You're like, really? I feel better now. Like, we're friends and family for each other, okay? We all go through real things. But there are real things happening, and there are real things and a lot of sacrifice that have been made on both, especially cleaning this stuff up, that I actually want the people that have given their lives fighting on our behalf to be known to the public. Okay? I'm upset on a different level that there's real hero shit going on underground, and I think everyone on the surface should know. I mean, imagine having a brother go to war, disappears, goes on to a battle and disappears and doesn't come home, and they can't tell you where he went when you knew what he was doing. So what I'm getting to is there's a different level for us warriors out there. I want everyone to know the great deeds and things that have taken place on everyone's behalf while we got to sit in our houses and watch it like TV. That's some of the stuff I wanted to share from my heart. Everyone should know about some of the things that are going on just for respect within the whole game. And a lot of this stuff is smoke and mirrors. Don't get me wrong. You guys saw the shenanigans in the videos where all these people are passed out, and the guy's in the body bag moving. It's like when they're filming him, he's like, oh, put the bag over. I mean, you're watching this like, you got to be kidding me, guy. But what I'm trying to say, it's like we're watching a movie, okay? But there are some weird shenanigans that go on that we need to address, and I have to believe that the white hats and the good guys are doing their job out there. I'm gonna have to stick with that. I can't live in Debbie Downer land. That's just not me.
So I guess, for anybody that's spiritual anyway, that believes in God or Jesus, a higher power, creator, there's
Yeshua.
lots of them out there. There's lots of people protecting us. There isn't just us here.
100%.
I feel alone, but they shouldn't, because there's so much out there that is actually here to protect us.
I am a protected person. You're a protected person. We have a lot of protected people. And the more you get that word out and the more you share your light and you share your wisdom, you think there's millions of us. There are not. Our community and who we are and our family listening to us right now, we're it. Okay? So having that responsibility may change you. there are things that I have done, and I've gone on these activations around the world that I ask my guides, if I don't do this right now, is anyone coming behind me to do it? They're like, nope, they're not. They're not going to take it. They're not going to do and get to where you are right now. As far as getting to a far off location, and like I said, everyone has their own job. What I'm trying to get to is like, we can't think as a population that there are beings coming behind us and cleaning it up. No, it's us right now to clean this up. It's this generation, the younger ones, us and our parents. It's these 3 generations. It's our time to shine. It's our time to stack that dharma. It's our time to share the good word and come from our hearts and let everyone on this planet know we are stronger than this storm. We will overcome. We've always overcome. And no matter what you throw at us, we're just going to evolve right through it, baby. We are the strongest of the strong. No one wants to tell you that. The fact that we have to live on a planet, the second you get here, you have to pay for. We have to go through all these fake Matrix games just to exist, and then deal with all this negativity. Most beings from other planets would never sign up for this. It's just way too much trauma. Think how much trauma every single human being right now is watching my face has gone through in this life. Okay, you don't think it's trauma? High school, action. Middle school, action. First time you got hammered in college and didn't woke up outside, action. Whatever it is for you, okay? We've all gone through some pretty negative experiences down here. So it's important to realize why we go through them. We go through them so we can share the wisdom we learned so others don't have to do the same negative spiral to get out of it. You know what I mean? And to share your life wisdom with young ones in their 20s. Hey, man, don't do drugs. Go to the gym. Hey, bro, it's not Miller time every day. It's go to the gym and work out for an hour and a half, then steam like a god every other day. Guess what? You look at your friends when you go to your first 10-year high school reunion, they'll look like they're 50. You'll look like you're 25. You don't believe me? Ask anyone repeat what I said to anyone who's gone to a high school reunion. Okay? It's real. Take care of your suit. Take care of the joy you feel when you wake up is one of the most important things you could ever imagine. Pick and choose where you want to wake up in the morning. Do you want to live in a big metropolitan city where you're hearing cars and all that? Or do you want to wake up and hear birds chirping and your hummingbirds are waiting for you to fill up the feeder? It's your choice how you want to live this life. But do not let this matrix tell you what's in your best interest when it was designed to break you down. That's all. And my brother, with that, I love you. That's me.
I got one more.
Oh, bro, you're good. I love you. Okay, come on.
Question. So I just want to. What's it like for you when you are going on a mission or an activation or going to battle? Like, do you what? Like, tell us what it's like. Do you light some incense? You get yourself put into a meditative state. You sit cross-legged. How do you prepare to go on one of these, missions?
Okay, well, first is recon, and intelligence. Where and what are we adjusting? What needs to be adjusted? Who needs to be picked up? Who needs to be dropped off? How many beings are we talking about? It goes into basic stuff. We get on Google Earth. I scan the whole area without, 100 feet off the ground. Scan the location of where I'm going to be staying. Scanning the location of where the car is going to be parked. I stare at the reality of how many hours it's going to take to get from point A to B. It's literally like being in the military, honestly. Some of these missions, how we do a map study. It's not random. We start booking flights. We start booking, different flights, depending on when we're showing up. We always throw the whole thing through a loop. We never know when we're going to show up. It's for our own protection. Then you start locking on location. You start jumping over there astrally, and you start seeing what you're going to deal with. You start, from a bird's eye view, make some interactions. If it's super mellow, you're very happy. Sometimes you got to deal with some jackasses. We try to deal with most of the jackasses before we get there. I am different now, and obviously with your squad, it's not just you. There's a squad of guys and gals that roll with us. They each have their own job, and depending on what it is, okay, well, truly what it is it's how. Imagine if you're building a house. Some people, when they go to an area, they go to like a grassy knoll, let's just say, and they'll light some sage and say a prayer, okay? And they're doing their part to heal. Some people, sit there for a day or two and they really dry in their intent and they bury crystals and they kind of take it over. Some beings show up, they grid the whole territory, they bury all the grids. Grids are devices that we use. And what happens is they lock down the area and they kind of, they adjust it in a way that cannot be undone. And once you do things that cannot be undone, it takes a different type of responsibility to be able to do that. And you have to be tested over a decade or more, or incarnations over and over and over again, because the types of tools you're using, if you misuse them, you could be very detrimental. And they don't want, beings with that sort of ability sets doing naughty things. It's the truth, because the dark side's been doing it for a very long time. So what I'm getting to is it's more of a personal choice of what you're willing to sacrifice to get the job done, the type of being you are, and your heart has to be 100,000% in it. And it does take a lot of methodology and timing. You have to have your throat chakra on. You have to listen to your higher self. All right, go now. You have to be, when you're on call to go, you can be 3 or 4 in the morning. You're on your way. It doesn't matter when. I've gotten up at 3 or 4 in the morning on missions, and they say go drive and park in the guy's backyard. We had to do mission one time in Texas on someone's private property, and you can get shot in Texas, right? And I remember getting up at 3:30 in the morning, driving on the property, turning the headlights off, driving past the guy's house to the corner of the property where the activation was, and literally, 5:30 in the morning doing it, and then driving by the guy while he's having his cup of coffee in the morning in an orange Humvee, acting like we were doing mechanical work on the power lines. Like, what are you doing on my private property, bro? Like, yeah, so when I get the green light to go to a place, there's no, I've had guns on me in Peru. I had guys with guns. I had guns on me in Chichen, Itza. They wouldn't let me bring my gear in. Outside the walls and all that stuff. Yeah, wherever I go, if you call me to come across the planet and I'm on an airplane for 16 hours, I don't care what sort of security you have there, I'm going to get my job done. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, I got to the deal and they said you can't come in. I'll just go, okay, well, I'm going to come back at 1:30 in the morning and that fence is only 15 feet high and I will continue doing my job. I have this weird thing. I don't take no for an answer because I realize I'm working for the upper echelon. I'm not here for human wah. If our guardians want certain things and people picked up and things adjusted, I'm 100,000% in spirit. And I think a lot of us who have this job understand exactly what I'm saying. So once I start, like I said, just like me, if you don't ask me a question you don't want to know the answer to, I only have one speed and it's 100% go. So that's when I back it off when we're not doing missions. I like to make the stuff you can find at store.teamlight.com. I make things to help people practice with their third eye. I make things to help protect your space. I make things to help grid. I make pyramids. I make lamps. I make things to help make it easier for you to activate your third eye. And right now we're having a sale, and the coupon code is FALL20. So use that coupon code. I'm here to help humanity, or I would not have come here. I can't be more real. And the difference with me is that I actually am one of the dudes that worked the grid behind the scenes, and I've been doing it since 2009. And I love you guys, and I just want you to know that I'm here to support you whatever you need. And I'm here to 100% support what needs to be done on this planet to, assist it in elevating itself into that higher frequency. Because, bro, I want to party with you guys in heaven. I want to go live with you guys in 5D. I want to go surfing with you and eat pineapples with Shane. And Shane, I'm like, hey, man, let's go ride horses. Let's see whose horse is the fastest. Like, I'm tired of all this weird shit they make us focus on. I want my friends and family to be in paradise. I'm tired of this. And we have to clean this up. We're all been running a marathon, okay? This is the last 2 miles of this marathon. That's why it feels like it's dragging out forever. It's the last 2 miles of a marathon, okay? And we're going to be successful. And, we are here. We are Team Light. And it's been an absolute pleasure being with you here today, Jesse.
You're such a beautiful soul. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for all that you're doing for humanity, and just keep doing what you're doing. We love you, brother. We won't stop. We're booked all the way up right now until December. Mm-hmm. So, we just keep just educating anybody willing to listen and bringing, light workers, beautiful light. People are asking, what's your channel? On your store, teamlight.com is your links to your other stuff there.
If you go to teamlight.com, If maybe just throw it in the bottom. Go teamlight.com.
Teamlight.com.
Okay. There it is. If you go to teamlight.com, go there. It's our family's webpage. You can see all the links to our YouTube and our Facebook and our websites, and we have conferences and all this cool stuff. Check it out, and there's a plethora of information on YouTube for you, training videos and understanding. If you guys are new watching me, and I kind of sound like I'm talking a different language, what I recommend everyone do is go back in time. Watch my YouTube videos from 5 or 6 years ago, or keep going back in time until you can find, okay, in 2015, I can follow what this dude's saying. I get it. And then watch it forward from there, okay? I understand that a lot of the stuff I do is advanced. I understand that I'm not trying to, blow smoke up your patootie. What I'm trying to tell you is whatever speed you want to move at, I've been having to work. I had to work for the last 10, since 2009 to actually go and be called into duty and go to work and come back. So my interpretation of this game may be a little different than some, but I'm here to say that I work on behalf of the collective of Earth to help those that need it and to, adjust things that need adjusting. And, us at Team Light, who are we? We're a group of light workers, light warriors, loving beings, starseeds, angelics, time jumpers that, are here to raise the planet's vibration, raise our vibration, and do that with the highest intent, right? And the highest intent. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today.
So you're not here to convince anybody of anything. You're here to just make people aware that there are people out there that are doing this work that people don't know about. That's kind of what your mission is coming here, is just to let people know, that reassure that there are others out there that are doing some real dirty work to help humanity, evolve to a better place.
And the whole thing is that, you may not know me, but I'm your best friend and I'm on your team. And just like our higher selves, dude, it's there. I just want the best for this planet, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And we do that with our hearts on. And that's all I wanted to share, that there are beings that have these jobs for real and have been doing this work behind the scenes for real. And that they should be appreciated. And I'm sending my love and appreciation to everyone on the planet that's been working behind the scenes. I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too, brother. And Tanya here, she's been following you since 2009. She's a good friend of ours.
Oh, she's fire.
Yeah, so
she's
I'm not
awesome.
sure you know her. Who she is?
Yeah, and the thing is that, all of our family that are really about it, we all woke up. Some people woke up in 2009. Some people woke up in 2012. Some people woke up in 2015. You have to ask yourself, what wave woke you up of consciousness? You know what I mean? So with that, ladies and gents, I just know that I'll see you guys soon. If you guys can see me every weekend, it could be Friday or Saturday, we're not sure, or Sunday, but at Unite the Collective on YouTube, and obviously here on Facebook at RION DE'ROUEN.
All right, love you, RION. You take care. I'm sure I could keep you here for hours.
I know. I love you.
I love you too, brother. You have an awesome day.
All right, brother. Peace.
Okay, bye, everyone. Thanks.